Anybody else wish to speak on this? Come ahead.
Hello, City Council. This is Ryan Schambers again. This is about the Tin Cup ordinance, obviously. And currently it's $3,000 for a campaign contribution limit from a particular donor. That was done in 2005. In 2007, the City Council was split into 6 districts, so you don't need to advertise to the whole city anymore in order to run. You just need people in your district to vote for you. So people are saying that, people won't be able to get elected unless they spend all this money. Well, somebody's going to get elected, whether it's $5 spent or $5,000 spent on someone's campaign. When people vote, they're going to fill in a bubble for somebody. You don't need to raise thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. You don't need to raise any money. You just need people to vote for you. You could win if you raise $0. So you don't necessarily need a lot of money to put up a good fight, but the people with money have it so much easier in the race because people vote for whose name they remember. If they see somebody's name on a lawn sign, they're going to vote for that person. Most people don't do a lot of research on the candidates to see who's better and who's not. I think we need the campaign limit to actually $500 from one particular candidate. I think it should be lower than $1,000 because it's $3,000 now, but that was before it was split into 6 districts, so it should be $500. 3,000 divided by 6 is 500. So we should pick a candidate that best represents Modesto, not whoever has more money, not who has more business contacts. A lot of people my age are running, not too many, but we don't have all these business contacts. We don't have all this money to raise, awareness for our campaign and advertisements. So I'd say make the cap 500. There's people besides the non-wealthy, the non-business owners that want to run too. Not everyone has this much money. And you shouldn't have to need so much money to run. Who says you need to spend it on photography or whatever? You just need people to vote for you. And Dave Cogdill talked about the incumbents getting an advantage if we lowered it. Yes, that could be true, but then we could maybe lower the campaign limit for incumbents, so it would make it fair. I'm not necessarily saying that's what we should do, but I'm saying we could put that on the table. I don't think the mayor's limit needs to change because he or she will be running through the entire city, so I don't think that needs to change at all. I don't think it needs to be lowered to 2,000. Two facts. I know this isn't the Senate or the Congress, but the Congress, congressional incumbent wins 93% of the time if he or she spends more money than the other political candidate. In the Senate, it's 94%. So it's probably not that high in Modesto, but it's definitely up there. The more money you have, the more people know about you, the easier it is to get elected. It's hard for people my age, 20 years old, or I don't know how old the other people are running for, District 2 or whatever district they're running, but I guarantee they don't have $37,000. I don't think they will raise nearly that much. So I don't know why people need that much in campaign contributions from a particular donor. I want people to pick whoever they feel best represents Modesto, not who has more money, not who has more business contacts, and who's this going to hurt? This is going to only hurt people that have a lot of money and they want to get elected easier. That's the only people that it's really going to hurt. It affects all people equally, and you can always get more people to donate to your campaign. And I understand that a lot of city council members sitting here today have received more than $1,000 or close to it, definitely over $500 for most of the candidates. So I would say not to be offensive, but they're biased when it comes to this because they got elected off of that money. So it's really hard to.
Mr. Chambers, your
convince
time is
people.
up.
Okay, thank you.
Ryan, you come back up here for a second? Almost done. So Ryan, you said you don't really have to raise, any money, but I mean, I don't know if you know this, but the candidate statement, the little thing that says who you are and what you're about and what you do, what you want to do in the city. That's going to cost you $400 to $700, and if you're the mayor, it's going to cost you like double that. So I just didn't know if you knew that. So even just
I think
put
it's
your name,
double that.
it's double even, it's triple that, right? Because the
I
first,
think it's more like
when I read
800 or
Yeah,
so,
it's getting
When-
close to 1,000 for.
1,000 for a
mayor.
council and 2,000.
yeah, when I ran for citywide, it was like $1,800 or something, and depends on how many people go out. But just to get your statement in there, and if you don't put a candidate statement in there, that's Philip Moyer. I mean, you don't even get any play at all. If you're just a name, they can't read anything about you. Because believe it or not, knocking on doors and everything else, that makes a big difference. But 70% of the people decide who they're going to vote for with their families or their friends when they read the candidate statement about what this person wants to do. And if you can't afford to do that, you can't raise the money to do that, they really just can't go up to the booth and vote for you because they've never heard of a candidate statement.
Okay, let's move on.
No, I meant that he did have a statement, and I'm telling you, otherwise you're going to get no shot at all. But so you got to raise a little bit of money.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else?
Council. John Rodriguez, candidate for District 2. I take exception to the comments that were made about lowering the, 3,000 to 1,000. That's like what Ryan was saying about, you just have to get people to vote for you. That's like opening up a restaurant and saying, I'm not going to advertise. People should just come to my restaurant because I'm open for business. Well, no, you have to advertise, and it costs money. And I invite both Mr. Drake and Ryan, that when you run for office, to give the endorsement to that statement that you support it to come down from 3,000 to 1. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And we're to the public comment period. I have Ryan Schambers. I don't think that's,
Ryan Schambers?
yeah,
Okay. Not right now or
yeah. You ready?
start? Okay. So I'm Ryan Schambers. I've been a Modesto resident for about 16 years. I am a security guard. So it kind of shows that I'm not biased about this issue. The issue is about homeless people and in parks. And naturally, to have more security, you would want more problems in shopping centers and other places because that means more business for security guards but that's not what I'm here to talk about. I don't want problems in Modesto. When we closed down the 17th and G Park, that water tower park downtown, we fenced it up. The homeless weren't allowed to be there anymore. And then they started causing problems in other areas in Modesto, Crescenta Park, McClatchy Square, and I drove by both places, 17th and G and McClatchy Square, and of course there weren't any homeless in the 17th and G place because it was all fenced up, but in the McClatchy Square, just shows we can't enforce our laws right now because I saw 3 homeless people camped out there right before the meeting today. And, how are we going to enforce this problem unless we get rid of the problem? If we move it over to another area, then we're just going to have more problems. And it seems like we just keep shifting the problem over from one area to another area of Modesto, and we never solve it. If one person complains, we move it over. If then another person complains, we move it to a different spot. Never really solves the problem. So I would want the fence reopened on 17th and G because it was never a problem in Grisada Park and McClatchy Square until that was fenced up. Then the homeless that would all be in that one spot, they started causing problems in places where people actually go to, like the Grisada Park, and a few people go to the McClatchy Square. And I'm more worried about homeless people causing problems than I am about certain parks like McClatchy Square being shut down versus not. I want to solve the homeless problem and not have them bothering regular, non-homeless people in shopping centers and parks so that they can enjoy using their parks and using their taxpayer dollars. There's a lot of people, like I think Modesto Central Pastor James Scarborough, he wanted the homeless out, but then he says that the property on 17th and G is too small to be efficiently developed. Then why did we fence it off in the first place? Just because?
Just
Okay.
just to cover the 17th and G, and then you can continue. That is encumbered and already under project to be developed into senior housing. So that's why that's fenced off.
Right, I understand that, but why couldn't we wait until we actually start building something on the property before we fence it off? Because it's been years and we haven't even started.
It is encumbered at this point. It's ready to go. Julie over here can give you more information on that.
Okay. Okay.
Continue if you'd like.
That's pretty much it. I'm just wondering if we can possibly put this on the agenda, if I need to write a letter or anything to get it on the agenda next council meeting, or maybe one after that. I just want people to talk about it more.
Talk to Julie first, but that, like I said, that is encumbered and essentially given to somebody at this point. So it's no longer a park.
Okay.
Go ahead and get Julie's card and she'll give you more information.
Oh, Ryan, before you go,
Oh, John.
there is a concerted effort to do something for the homeless, and it's a work in progress. It takes time. It's not easy. I understand your concerns totally. A lot of people agree with you, and there has to be a bit of compassion involved in that. And we're working on it. There is some serious efforts right now to try and develop a day center for the homeless, as well as a homeless intervention services van that would go around and interact with homeless people, and perhaps even work on their behaviors, maybe some. So it's there's hope. We're working on it.
Okay.
Thanks for coming in.
You're welcome. So, thank you.
Thank you. Robert